On October 15th in Haenam, South Jeolla Province, a special event took place at the opening ceremony of the Gosan Yun Seon-do Artifact Museum. Yun Seon-do's old Geomungo, which had previously been preserved in pieces, the Gosang Yugum and Ayang, made its debut after being restored by the National Gugak Center.
고수님과 정선님께 함께 되어다가 국립국악원의 노력으로 복원지에 나가여 오늘을 이루었습니다.
Gosan's restored instruments were presented to his descendant, Yun Seon-sik, to be displayed in the Artifact Museum. With its gentle reverberations and melodies for the heart, the Geomungo was the instrument of seonbi. Geomungo is a Korean instrument that has been played for a millennium. What has been the significance of Geomungo through all that time? Yun Seon-do loved the Geomungo so much that he named his own instrument Ayang, which means outstanding Geomungo skill. In 1632, he wrote the poem 남귀기행, or Traveling Back South, in which described his long journey from Hanyang to Haenam. Mannyok refers to the year 1611, and Dubyong is the name for November on the lunar calendar. In this long poem of 122 lines, Yun Seon-do writes that he repaired his Geomungo before setting off on his journey. He implies that such a journey could not be undertaken without his Geomungo. In another text, his Gosan Yugo, he writes that he was able to lessen his homesickness while in exile when he found by chance a Geomungo he had lent to a friend. Stories about Geomungo and music pervade many of Yun Seon-do's texts.
우리나라에 지금까지 남아있는 악기들이 사실 그렇게 오래된 악기들이 많지가 않습니다. 대개 19세기 말에서 20세기 초에 만들어진 악기들이 굉장히 오래된 그런 악기로 여겨지고 있는데요. 고산 선생께서 직접 쓰셨던 악기이기 때문에 300년 이상 된 우리나라에서 가장 오래된 악기 중에 하나라고 생각할 수 있습니다.
Why was Geomungo a favorite instrument among the Joseon Dynasty's seonbi? A Confucian country, Joseon sought to regulate life through propriety and music. Music was also considered a political tool, and kings aimed to support and develop music. King Sejong had various instruments created in large numbers and laid the foundation for true Korean music by inventing the genres of Jeongdaeub and Botengpyeong. These efforts continued with future kings. The government's firm policies gave seonbi no choice but to be aware of their duties and of music. As Confucianism and kumhak, or the study of music, was imported to Joseon from China, the idea that seonbi needed to be musically talented became widespread. These theories and ideologies became embodied in one instrument, the Geomungo.
선비들에게 거문고의 의미는 예를 들면 좌금우서라는 그런 고사가 있습니다. 그래서 선비의 방에는 항상 왼쪽에는 거문고를, 그 다음에 오른쪽에는 서책을 가까이 해서는 학문을 하다 보면은 굉장히 마음이 심란해지거나 정신이 학문에서 좀 멀어지려고 할 때 거문고의 소리를 통해서 아니면 거문고를 조연하면서 그런 마음을 정리를 하고 또 학문을 열심히 할 수 있는 그런 도구로서 거문고를 활용을 했고, 그런 측면에서 선비들한테 거문고는 굉장히 큰 그런 수양의 도구로서 그런 의미를 갖고 있다고 하겠습니다.
seonbi in the Joseon Dynasty composed music themselves and left sheet music. However, the sheet music used different types of notations and cannot be played today. For seonbi, it was essential to train the body and mind to reach the Confucian ideal of being noble. They believed it was imperative that they be able to handle the Geomungo to walk the path of righteousness. The Geomungo was the instrument played by seonbi and played for court music until the 18th century. Between the 19th and 20th centuries, the Geomungo undergoes a radical change. Sanjo, a new form of music used in 가야금 music, proves to be extremely popular. Composers began creating sanjo music for the Geomungo as well. The first known Geomungo sanjo was written by Baeknak-jun in the early 20th century. The sanjo is the music of southern shamans. Baeknak-jun was originally from Cheongyang in South Chungcheong province, but moved to Gangneung with his shaman parents. At the time, Gangneung was a large port city with many ceremonies, including the Yongwangje, a memorial service for fishermen, and the Punghoje, a service wishing for a plentiful catch. It was a good place for shamans to live. It is assumed that Baeknak-jun learned the Geomungo from his father. Between 1912 and 1914, he used his knowledge of Geomungo music to create the first Geomungo sanjo. His music enjoyed widespread popularity. However, for seonbi, who consider the Geomungo a sacred instrument, the sanjo was a mortifying creation.
일반 백성들이나 아니면 민중들이 좋아하는 그런 산조 음악을 연주한다는 것은 그때 당시에 그런 그 통념으로서는 가히 상상을 할 수 없는 그런 아주 혁명적인 사건이었고요. 그래서 거문고를 연주한 그 백낙준 선생을 찾아가서는 그때 당시에 그런 그 인텔리들이 뭐 거문고를 그 줄을 끊거나 아니면은 뭐 손을 자른다든지 하는 그런 일화가 많았고, 그 백낙준 선생의 그 제자인 신쾌동 선생이 마찬가지로 거문고 산조를 연주할 때 그 기방이나 이런 쪽에 그 지식인들이 찾아와서는 연주를 못하게끔 방해도 굉장히 많이 했었고.
The Seoul Art Market presents Korean artwork and performances on the world stage. Here, the young Geomungo ensemble Geomungo Factory is preparing a performance around the theme of metamorphosis. Their music is more strong and dynamic than most existing Geomungo music. Under Japanese colonization in the early 20th century, Korean music began a slow decline. When Western music was introduced, the slow and low sounds of the Geomungo slowly faded away. However, contemporary young performers are hoping to revive Geomungo music. Their efforts are being enthusiastically received in Korea and even more warmly abroad. The name Geomungo Factory reflects the members' ambition to use Geomungo to create. Their dynamic performance was possible due to hours of hard work.
지금 보여드릴 악기는 실로폰 거문고라는 악기인데요. 거문고가 좀 두꺼운 줄과 얇은 줄이 공존해 있는 악기라면 이 실로폰 거문고는 얇은 줄을 조금 더 많이 얹어서 안쪽을 조금 더 많이 얹어서 음정들을 조율하게 돼서 실로폰처럼 연주를 하게 돼 있어요. 이제 연주부터 보여드리면
담양금이라는 악기예요. 그래서 전통 거문고는 여기 보이시다시피 윗부분이 더 길어요. 근데 저희가 이 부분을 자르고 뒷부분에 구멍을 뚫어가지고 이렇게 허리춤에 메고 연주를 하려고 이렇게 짧게 만든 악기예요. 줄은 저희가 명주실 말고 이제 얇은 줄을 얹어서 통이 작아진 만큼 울림은 조금 살리고 싶어서 좀 줄을 바꿔봤고요.
이런 거문고라는 그 자체 악기를 조금 알리고 싶은 건데 마치 저희가 이런 많은 악기를 만들었으니까 저희 좋아요 이런 게 아니라 그냥 거문고라는 악기 자체를 좀 많이 알려졌으면 하는 바람이 더 커요. 저희는 그냥 악기를 만들고 재밌게 음악을 하려고 만든 팀이고요. 거문고 많이 사랑해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
From the Goguryeo Dynasty to the 21st century, the Geomungo has always been at Korea's fingertips. In its strings, the Geomungo holds the stories of seonbi who wish to become more noble, of common Koreans who use music to embellish their lives and comfort themselves, and of performers who are preserving to return Korean music to its rightful place, a place taken away by Western music. As long as these stories continue to be told, the legacy of the Geomungo will continue into the ages.